Did I say I was a great YouTuber? No.
Never,
Technically, a video out there makes me a YouTuber.
your
A
skills are
great one.
weak.
That's up to people's certain point of views.
Stop it.
So, what are we talking about?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. We're here with a late night episode that my buddy Jordan here decided to come up with. It's not Josh. No, I know he kind of looks like him, but it's not. It's Jordan. It's just Jordan.
Just me. Just me.
Uh, he came up to me with this idea, and I really like the concept of just having a one-on-one discussion about Star Wars in no particular manner. Really, just kind of going back and forth, just the type of conversation you'd have like on the school playground or at lunch, just going from topic to topic with no real flow of anything. And all this guy wants to do is talk about what kind of name we're going to come up with for the name of the podcast. And the first thing he does is throw about 35 names at me. So we're going to figure something out by the end of this. I'm sure we'll decide on a name, or maybe you guys can come up with a name if you want. So we'll just see how it goes. But there is absolutely no way that this video is going to go. There's no flow. It's just going to take off, and we'll see where it leads.
The Banter.
See, I liked Blaster Banter a little more than that one.
Ooh, that was a good. Was it not a good one?
That was a
There
good
were some
idea.
good ones in there. Was there not?
There were some good ones. There were some not good ones.
Well, I was talking about those.
Galactic Gazette was pretty cool. I did like
I
that
thought
one.
that was like pretty like classy. Like if I was to start a newspaper in universe, that's what I would call it. Like I believe in universe in my head canon now. There is a newspaper, I guess a holographic newspaper that's called the Galactic Gazette.
Just imagine, just like hanging out, reading the Coruscant Times.
Ooh, that's good.
Wow, Jedi Council commits treason. That's crazy.
Emperor Palpatine rises to power. Padme, assassination attempt number 3 failed. It's so funny about that when you think about it because Palpatine tells Dooku to kill Padme, who then tells Jango to kill Padme, who then tells a shapeshifter to kill Padme,
Her
to
name is
then
Zam Wessel. Get it right.
That's the name I was looking for. Yes, who tells Zam Wesell to kill Padme, to then tells a robot to kill Padme, to then sends worms basically to kill Padme.
I
And
mean,
instead of Django going to kill Padme when the Jedi are distracted, he kills the person he hired to kill Padme.
I mean, if you're gonna try to cover up an
Which I
assassination, you
can't
gotta have a
take
few
credit for
chains
that
there.
video. Huh?
You can't take credit for that ever.
No, but I'm saying,
But
like, is that not crazy? I saw that video the other day and I was like, why does that make sense? Like,
I mean, if you're gonna have an assassination attempt, you kind of want to have some steps ahead so you don't get caught. You know.
but no, like, what I
I mean,
got
it
hung up
didn't
on was like,
work.
why didn't Django go kill Padme instead of killing the person he hired to kill Padme?
Why do people hire other people to handle things for them instead of doing it themselves? I don't know. Life?
Time.
I mean, he's busy being the parent of every clone ever, so.
That's true. Um, Technically, Boba and Omega.
And the rest of them.
I'm I'm convinced. I know the brother and sister, but I'm convinced they are brother and sister.
I
Like she
mean,
was there, like in the like she they like her and Boba had bunk beds in my vision.
I mean, they were genetically altered to be like, I guess basically the closest thing to brother and sister you can get, yeah.
What is her story? I can't remember exactly why she was altered the way she was.
Um, I watched Bad Batch. I don't necessarily remember. Um,
That's what.
feel free to correct me in the comments because I know I'm going to be wrong, but I know there was two unaltered clones, Alpha and Omega. Alpha was renamed Boba, and Omega was renamed Omega.
So they were created at the same time.
I had imagined so because they're roughly the same age. Omega may be younger. or older. I'm not exactly sure,
They're
but
close.
they've got to be around the same age. But I know it was all part of the whole Project Necromancer.
Dude, I'm so confused on what that project was. I know what it was supposed to be, but like, it really wasn't. It didn't go nowhere.
Oh, it went a lot of where.
I mean, it goes a lot of where, but like it's just like where, like you see Palpatine look, and he's like, "This is very important," but like you never see what's in it. Is what I'm saying.
But you know what's in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it didn't go nowhere in sense of the payoff of like you don't see what everyone keeps seeing in the thing, and I'm like, it has to be like
It
I imagine it's a young Palpatine
you
from
you
like
you
Heritage.
say you say it didn't go nowhere, so it did not go nowhere, so it went somewhere.
Yes, yes, in a galaxy far, far away, a
No,
long
it
time
100% it was clones of
in the
Palpatine.
future. Oh, yeah, well, I'm seeing like a young Palpatine, like not Heir to the Empire. What's the other comp? Dark Empire.
Oh, Dark Empire, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining. But like, how does that work? Like, he just throws his consciousness. Why does he need so many little Palpatines?
Well,
Is and I know you're way better at lore than I am. So, in theory, technically, couldn't that be one of the clones that end up being Ray's dad?
so Ray's dad was a different case. I've read a lot of books, I've read a lot of comics, I've read a lot of lore. I can't keep all
A
of
lot
it
of
in
reading.
my head. But Ray's dad was a failed attempt at essence transfer, to my understanding. He was supposed to be a host. I hope I'm remembering this right. He was supposed to be a host to transfer midichlorians into a clone to try to see if they could contain it within a body, because that was the problem Project Necromancer was having. None of the clones of the body were taking to the midichlorians. They just kept deteriorating.
Don't
Her
make it.
Ray's father, I'm blanking on his name, was basically just like a failed science experiment. So he ran away
Yeah.
and then met Ray's mom on a separate planet. And then they fell in love, they got pregnant, and then they were on the run from everyone and everything. And the entire time that's going on, they're being chased by Ochi of Bestoon, and Luke and Lando are chasing Ochi of Bestoon.
What a name.
I know, right? All of
So
this can
somehow, pretty much,
all of this can be found in the book Shadow of the Sith. Fantastic book.
you need to read that book.
You should read that book or listen to the audiobook. You got Spotify?
Dude, ooh,
There you go.
audiobooks. That's my bread and butter. Is
Now,
audiobooks.
here's the problem. Here's my gripe with that. If you have Spotify Premium, you get 14 hours of audiobook a month. So more than likely,
It's like Audible.
well, Audible will give you one credit, so you can get through an entire book. Spotify only gives you 14
Oh,
hours.
okay. I see what
So
you're
if
saying.
the audiobook is like 14 hours and 30 minutes,
Yeah,
you might want to wait till like the end of the month to start the book.
fair enough. Fair enough. I, in fact, signed up for Audible recently. So right now, I just started Shadowhunter.
Oh, Darth Maul Shadowhunter?
Yeah,
That's a good book.
that's
That's a
so
really
far
good
I'm
book.
loving it.
It's a really good book.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a ride. Like
Quite literally.
that I love those types of books where it's not just someone reading, but it's interactive.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the one I just finished before this was it was the alternate script for Aliens 3.
Okay.
But the cast came back and returned to do the voices, and it was basically like a movie being read to you pretty much. It was awesome. It was badass.
I know right now for Spotify, I am listening to a very classic story, Shadows of the Empire.
Very
I've
classic.
I've got 8 hours left. I'm currently on chapter 16. I played the
Chapter
game
6.
constantly as a kid on the N64. I remember being so excited when I finally beat it because my god, that game was hard. Um, so it's really interesting listening to the audiobook and seeing the how it coincides with the game, because I know the game, the book, the comics, we're all supposed to tell different stories that were like going parallel to make one larger story. So they kind of like filled in the blanks of each other. It's pretty cool. I mean
Yeah.
that whole project, that whole initiative was that was Lucasfilm's first multimedia project, and it was really cool. Even the
Dude,
soundtrack is great.
I love the ingenuity of stuff like that. Um, because I mean, that's really like when I think of Lucasfilm, that's what I think of is ingenuity. Because I mean, when the prequels are coming out, digital, like they were experimenting with that more than anybody else, and they laid the path pretty much for what everybody uses today when it comes to practical effects. Same thing when it comes to games,
I mean,
like Force
that's how we got
Unleashed,
Pixar.
mocap. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm just like mocap. Like with Force Unleashed, it was something relatively new, but they did a lot of work into it to make it more manageable for pretty much everybody else to use.
And honestly, I think that made
I'd
it
love to see a
really
remake of that.
a Force Unleashed.
Yeah, like with the modern mocap, and have the cast come back in to kind of like I wouldn't say fall and order it, but like something similar to that. Because I mean,
I wonder if Sam Witwer could
or a
physically
third
handle
one.
that. We don't need a third one. Let Starkiller die forever. He's gone.
I mean, he's died. As many times as Palpatine.
He was a problem in Legends.
No, no. See, you bring him back in the third one, and it's easy to explain. You just say he somehow returned. That's all you have to say, and
Hey, you
everybody
got a
will buy
point.
it. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I mean, I guess he did somehow. Like, of course he did somehow.
You know, it's
Like,
funny.
it's not wrong."
I saw a video earlier before we got on, and it was talking about how Palpatine somehow returning is not all that far fetched when you think about it. We're talking about a guy who was secretly a Dark Lord of the Sith, weaseled his way into position of power to become a senator, and then become elected as a Chancellor of the Republic,
Very crafty guy.
and then managed to create a droid army on the side with a bunch of planets
Yeah,
that wanted to leave his own republic, and
he did.
then decided to make both sides fight each other, which he could have stopped at any time, and then decided to become the Dark Lord and Emperor of the Galaxy. Somehow he returned. Yeah, I'll buy it. Dude just pulled the strings for everything. So, like, yeah, I'm sure he had something else up his sleeve. I mean, I know people didn't like it in Dark Empire. Like, I know that comic was pretty divisive among Star Wars fans when it came out. For starters, I'm still reading the comic. It's kind of hard to get through because there's a lot of like monochromatic color schemes that are used in it, and it's just kind of like weird to look at. But it's an interesting story.
Two things about that. First of all, as a bonus, let's talk about how Palpatine straight up bumped up his charisma when he created his character. Like to be able to do that. Second of all, I used to hate that line when I first watched it, especially in theaters. I was like, really? That's the best you come up with? When you think about it and how much
Oh,
it
the he
does
returned
make
line?
sense. Yeah. But I'm like, when you think about how would Poe know? Like he's just a fire. He's like, yeah, Palpatine returned somehow. It's like, of course. How would you know how he returned?
I will say this. One thing I truly hate about all of that is that so in the crawl to episode 9, it says there's a message that's broadcast to the entire galaxy seeming to come from the once alive, Emperor Palpatine. The speech that they're referring to was showcased in an event in Fortnite.
I forgot about that.
The actual
I
speech
remember
the
that.
actual speech that was broadcast to the galaxy was done in a Fortnite event.
Hey, that's kind of cool when you think about it. Have you
Yeah,
seen what? the Vader AI is in Fortnite, like what it's about, pretty much. Like it's,
And I've seen them get sued because of it now. So
God, people
people
are
are,
just sensitive.
yeah, well, chill out. But I
Like,
will
come on
look.
now. Like, there's nothing wrong with Vader being like "Cowabunga, bro" or something like that. That's pretty. It's pretty funny. Some of the stuff I've seen, but like, I get it. I get it.
You are the
Especially some of the
problem with
stuff
the
I've
world.
seen that AI say. I can see how Disney's like, we don't want that.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But I will say, you have to take into consideration when you're making Star Wars movies, obviously there's a giant devoted fan base. But there's also a larger portion of casual viewers and casual fans that just like Star Wars. And they're not going to play Fortnite to get a
Oh,
secret
you're saying you
to
don't
get a
like it
secret.
because, yeah, I see what you're
It's
saying.
not easily accessible to a lot of people. Now it is accessible
That
to a.
that's
It,
debatable.
I was just about
It,
to say, but it is accessible to a lot of people at the same time. So I would say it's like a split 50-50, maybe 60-40. It just depends on either side. But like,
well, I mean, I
there could
watched
have
it,
been
but
another
like
way to do
on
it.
YouTube.
I still haven't even seen it.
Well, see, I just like searched it up on YouTube and just watched, I guess, someone watch it because I didn't feel like playing it. And obviously, you can't just go. Fortnite's one of those games like once it's over, it's over.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Because I know, I remember when Tales of the Underworld came out, they did like a preview event like the night before where you could watch the first two episodes in Fortnite.
See, how does that make sense though?
Dude, I
Like
don't
they're
know.
that partnered with Fortnite, but they're gonna sue Fortnite for the Vader AI.
Um,
That
yeah,
doesn't make sense.
well, you got to
Which
think.
I've not looked into it.
Well, I was gonna say you got to look at what they were given the rights to do. They
So they
do
weren't
not.
given the rights to make a Vader AI.
They do not own the rights to use James Earl Jones' voice through AI to say whatever they want.
I don't know who made that algorithm though for that AI because it's snappy.
It's scary.
It's snappy. It's what it is. Like it's straight. It'll roast someone. I'm just like that's
And
impressive.
that's the problem. Like it doesn't need it. We don't need to be doing that.
No, we don't need AI talking crap about us. Like, because it's gonna be good at it.
I talk crap about myself enough. I don't need a machine to tell to like be like, yeah, you're right.
Part of me wants to think it's someone. It's not AI. It's just someone using a modular. Just the
It's just
entire like
It's
their
just
job every day is just to go in there and talk crap to
it's just
people.
Roger L. Jackson just off on the side.
Yeah, he's just there every day and just like talking crap the entire time. It's like, oh, because I mean they're doing that now. Have you seen like the mocap that they're kind of coming out with, where basically you just put up a webcam and that webcam will pick up on your face. So like if you do something like this, the character model in the game will do that.
So like mocap, but without the mocap.
Pretty much like it's mocap in the sense of it's like so advanced. It's not really mocap. It's just cap. It's just like it's just literally I saw a demonstration. Like it's not quite out yet, but they're going to use it for events like those live Fortnite events of like literally I saw someone do it like every tick he did with his face, it did it in like real time, and I was like, wow, that's scary and wild and cool all in the same
It's
play.
weirdly impressive, but weirdly like, ugh.
Yeah, somehow.
Somehow they returned.
I'm gonna be
I
on
mean,
that for a week.
listen,
I'm gonna start saying it
Star Wars is going to be returning soon though, and I'm really excited about that. Like
somehow.
we got a movie in like 7 months. That's not right.
May.
What month
You
is it?
talking about the Mando?
It's currently June. Is it May? I thought it was March. Did they move it to May?
Last I looked at it was May.
I could have swore it
Late
was May.
May, I think though. I could be wrong though. I I just kind of figure it out as it comes. Like I'll
Um,
believe it's May until it comes out in June, and then I'll be like, oh, I guess June was right.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be March. I mean, it might get delayed until May. Who really knows? But I know that there's been a lot more news about Starfighter coming out that I'm very excited for. It's
I heard the
looking.
same thing. I heard that Starkiller is going to be in it.
No, you're so wrong. Okay, get off my channel.
Yeah.
No,
Do you
apparently Mia
could you imagine if
Goth.
they did announce like a Star Killer show? Because
I
they
would.
hint at him all the time. Like he's in
I
Andor.
Okay, so the Sith armor is shown in Andor. That doesn't necessarily. It does not necessarily mean it was Star Killers. I
Where
will
did that
die
come?
on that hill. I will die on that hill.
Like did okay? So I'll give you a chance to defend it.
Okay.
So the armor, I can't remember off the top of my head. I used to know. In Force Unleashed, that armor, what is that based off of? Is it Force? Is it exclusively to Star
Can
Killer,
you
or
give
was
me
there like,
one
oh, he
second?
got
I
that
have a
armor?
cat clawing at the carpet in the door that I have to let in. Hold that
Saved
thought.
by the cat.
Know that?
Jimmy has returned somehow. Oh, you
Man.
didn't hear that.
Oh, I heard that.
Oh, you did hear me?
Yeah.
I was like, Jimmy returned somehow.
Yeah. So the Sith armor you see was
Yeah,
just training armor that Sith had. It wasn't just for
right.
one
So
particular
there was a
Sith.
lore to it. It wasn't like it was
Yes.
something Star Killer threw together,
Correct.
and then they twisted it into being okay. Okay, I'll give you
Now,
that one, maybe.
now, now to your point, yes, it was first shown in I believe it
Second one, I think.
was it
Maybe it was the first one. Dude, it's
I
been
think
years since
I want to say it was in the first one and it was like a pre-order bonus or like a deluxe edition or
I
something.
know it was. I do remember it was like a DLC, regardless of which game it was.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the outfits that you get in Fallen Order and Survivor, like the Kenobi outfits and stuff like that.
I do have some new outfits I got to check out. I just got Outlaws. It's on sale right now.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was at. I may actually
Really
get it this time around. I've
really
still not played it.
really good deal. So I got the gold edition, which is everything with the exception of like two cosmetic packs that I could not care about. So I got the base game, a few aesthetics, and the season pass that has all of the new DLC for $55.
Here it's. Well,
So
I've heard
I
mixed things about it.
so like I got basically the entire game for the value of the base game at full price.
That's fair.
So to me I paid for a full game.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
still a
fair.
little
And
I'm still
I
a
do.
little
It's way better because it's what? It's $130.
dude, yeah, it's expensive for the ultimate pack. And the ultimate pack, the only difference is you get two cosmetic skins and you get a digital art book.
See, I'm very picky with games I play, and I wouldn't say, oh, I wouldn't say too picky, but like games like I get hyped up about, like it has to be, because I'm a big like role playing, single player, campaign, story guy type of
Yeah.
game. Like Arkham, Great Circle, RoboCop Roads, those are the games that I play that I enjoy and get invested in the most. Outlaws, I don't know, like I haven't got it yet because like it just had I hadn't really seemed that interested. Like I have to be invested in the story, unless it is like I don't know. Let's just say Lego Star Wars or something like that. Like it's just one that you can hop on and just have fun with.
Yeah.
But like the coolest thing, and plus, I mean, another reason is I had it kind of spoiled for me because I was just scrolling through and I saw something. I was like, oh, that looks cool, and I watched it, and it was from Outlaws, and it was like a scene with Vader, and I was like, oh, that's all I feel like I need to see. Like that was it. I was like, that's pretty cool. Because then I jumped down a rabbit hole of watching a clip or two, and I'm like, now I feel like the game's spoiled for me. And
So I first tried the game I think it was like a month after it came out. I got a trial to the Ubisoft Plus, whatever it's called, and
yeah, whatever it's called, it sounds about right.
I think it's called Ubisoft Plus, and
Yeah.
I was playing through the base game. Didn't really do a whole lot, um, because it was very buggy. I was
I heard that a lot too, that it was buggy. But you were playing on what, PC?
I was playing on PC. I was falling through the floor.
Yeah.
The
See,
typical Ubisoft bugs.
I'm sure console probably does play a bit better when it comes to that. I would hope. Because I mean, if not, I feel like a lot of people returned it. But I mean, it's been out for a while now.
It's
Which I
still
can't wait for the third Fallen Order game. That's because they're wrapping it up with this one, right? Like this is like basically a trilogy.
Yep.
I'm curious where it goes, like how far they jump ahead this time around. Because I would I'm call me fan servicey, but I'd love to see something where he meets Luke. And I don't care if it's part of the main story or just like a spin-off DLC. Kind of like what they did with the Bad Batch and Omega. Like you just jump ahead that final moment and just see where Omega is, like when the rebellion is full throttle and everything. I'd be fine with seeing something like Cal in like Mando, territory.
I wouldn't be surprised if he dies at the end of the game.
Be optimistic.
I'm
He could
not.
live.
I want him to live because I would love to see him in live action later on. That needs to happen because Cameron Monaghan is a treasure. But
Oh, dude,
I mean, I've seen so many games
such
where
a
we
good
have,
actor.
but I've seen like so many games where they have like trilogies or sagas or installments where at some point like the lead character like gets blown up at the end.
Yeah, but it's not Star Wars though.
Dash Rendar
That- That'd be like killing
faked his
Batman.
death at the end of one of them, so I mean, he could, or yeah, or the end of Arkham Knight,
He lived.
and became a literal
Unfortunately,
nightmare.
he lived, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League confirmed that he lived. Unfortunately, like I'd rather him kind of be dead if I'm being honest.
That
Story wise,
that is a game. It happened.
yeah. It's people who love the game. I mean, more power to you. I tried it. I got it for free when it was on PlayStation Plus, and I tried it, and I was like, it's not for me.
Just wasn't it.
Which like I said, I'm not really a fan of those games, anyways, because the story of itself is so short in that game. Like you could play through it in literally like 2 or 3 hours uninterrupted, probably. Like if you just like ran straight through it without like any extra stuff. But yeah, I just did not agree with that game.
As
But
far
one
as
game, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like as far as the third Jedi game goes, if we're gonna do fan servicey things, I want them to run into the Bad Batch.
That would be cool. I would I would love to see a Bad Batch video game.
Do it like Republic
Like, do
Commando.
you remember? Yes, that's what I was literally about to say. Do you remember Republic Commando? Could you imagine if they remastered that? But basically, it was the Bad Batch, and they had new stories, and it
I
was
have
canonical, and it could easily take place. I mean, you could do a lot of, you could do a series of like stuff with that. So like you'd have the main game, and then you could have DLCs, some that take place during the Clone Wars, and some that take place post season three, because there's a huge time jump between the finale and where story kind of really leaves off. Aside from but that'd be cool. I mean, that'd be a huge fan service to people who love those type of games and make it like a shooter.
yeah,
I'd be down for that.
I see the
If any of you
vision.
offer customize the armor, you do anything with that really.
I'm here for it. Yeah.
Lucasfilm,
I
do it.
mean, I think that would actually be a pretty perfect game to do that because Republic Commando was more or less the same thing. Like you had, you had Delta Squad, and they all had like special talents that they could do, and it's literally the Bad Batch,
Heavily inspired,
heavily
heavily
inspired.
inspired for sure.
But Delta Squad
S-
is still canon, so
that's okay. Two things can be alive at
exactly
the
they
same
can
time.
both exist. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they both can exist. I'm always from the mindset of taking anything I can from Legends and head canon it to canon.
I mean, and that's your right.
Yeah. Dude, could you imagine like the Bounty Hunter game? That was
The
such a good game.
The Django Fett one.
Yes, and
I
they
never played
remastered
it.
that.
I never played it.
You've got to. It's like I think it's like $10 right now on the PlayStation Store. So I don't know what it is on Steam. But I know it's on sale right now. But
I don't know if it's
that is a
on Steam.
fantastic game. Lovely cameos, lovely story. I beg to question, why have we never got a Boba Fett game like that? As
because it was
popular as that
canceled.
character is, with the limited screen time he had, like I'm shocked that we didn't get that. Which I get why we get the Jango Fett one first because it came out when Attack of the Clones, Revenge, all those all the prequels were coming out. That made
You have to
sense.
remember there was a Boba Fett game. It was canceled. It was that was 1313.
But I mean, we could bring it back.
Bounty Hunter is currently $20 on Steam.
That's the remastered, yeah.
Yeah, the remastered.
Which I don't really know the difference. I have like because there's two versions on PlayStation. There's the original version and the remastered, but they look close enough. I
I'm
actually have the PlayStation 2 copy sitting over there from where I had it as a kid.
I
I
don't
still
even know
have
that
my
was
Lego
on
Star Wars
PS2.
copy. Huh?
I don't even remember that being on PS2.
Yeah, that's what it was on. That's what it came out on.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how long ago that was. That's crazy. Then the Lego Star Wars games, dude, can't go wrong with those. Like those are so simple and good. Um,
Wow, that game was only published for PlayStation 2 and GameCube.
yeah, I believe it was like the early days of the exclusives.
Was it not on Xbox?
I don't think so. I've never seen it on Xbox, like a
That's
copy of
crazy.
it.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, I guess
It
that's
may be
fair.
now.
That's fair though, considering Xbox for the longest time had like all the exclusives. They had the Obi-Wan game, the KOTOR games. Republic Commando was an Xbox exclusive.
A lot of those games are coming back. Have you seen? Like I've seen them on PlayStation. Like I went through a rabbit hole the other day. I was like, oh, dude, they got Starfighter. Dude, they got Pod Racers.
I bought Republic Commando and Episode One Racer for the
Dude,
Switch.
I bought that a couple months back, Commando,
Hmm.
and I was like, I gotta play this because as a kid. So as a kid,
That game
I
was
saw the
hard.
trailer on the prequel DVDs. I think it was, but I remember seeing the trailer. I'm like, that is so cool. I've got to get that game. But I never could find the game as a kid, and so I went through. Now I was like, I'm getting it this time. I'm playing it now. Mom
Dude,
can't say no to that game. And then so I got
playing
it
that as
and
a
I
kid
played
was so
through.
difficult.
Dude, I loved it, and I loved the gameplay. I loved how it was made. Like I mean, like you actually had moments where like one character would do the tech side of things. One
Yeah.
character would like you were saying with Delta Squad. I mean, you, dude, we need a Bad Batch game like that. Like as popular as they are, I mean, they got 3 seasons of a show. I mean, they're popular enough to have their own. You know, I really thought. Speaking on video games, Outlaws. When I first was hearing about it, I thought it was gonna be like a Han Solo game.
Sorry, he keeps poking at me, and I'm like, "What do you want?"
He looks interested, bro. He's like, hey, what's over there?
He's not interested. There's not a thought in that head. He's orange.
Hey, he heard you, and he was like, he took offense to that.
Oh, he's fine. You know, well, I like the fact that Outlaws was placed between 5 and 6.
I did like that choice. I do because there's not a lot in that period between 5 and 6.
Exactly that. I mean, the biggest story that takes place between 5 and 6, at least in Legends, was Shadows of the Empire. But
Mm-hmm.
to have it at a time where that's really, I mean, episode 5 to episode 6, that's really where the whole concept of like smugglers and bounty hunters became more popular, especially with all the bounty hunters we see in Empire. You know, when we see
Mm-hmm.
Boba Fett and IG-88 and all of them. Um, so thinking of a game that takes place during that era and focusing on the underworld side of things, I think is a really cool idea. And
Yeah, no,
I think now
the
now
idea
that
was good.
I'm gonna go back and hopefully, excuse me, it's late. I think I'm gonna go back, hopefully sometime this week, and actually start playing through a game because I think it's been patched, so it might be a little more playable. Because I really did not get very far. I know I got off the first planet, made it to the second one, got a speeder bike, and it literally took me 3 tries to get from like the starting point to the nearest city. Because like I would go off a jump point, and then instead of landing, it would just fall through the map. And then when I got to the city, I was apparently moving way too fast, so all of the pixels and all of the textures were not rendering. So like the door I was supposed to go through would just never registered, and I got stuck in the wall. So it was very unplayable. But I'm still very interested in the story. I want to become part of the Crimson Dawn Syndicate, and I want to wipe out everyone else.
Dude, the Crimson Dawn. I am so excited for the mall show.
It's gonna be good.
I am so excited. Like that is probably I've not probably been so hyped for a show since Kenobi, probably.
I
Um
if we
Kenobi
get
I
to
was so
see
hyped about.
if we get Dryden Voss, I am praying that Paul Bettany will come back to voice Dryden Voss.
See, I'm curious because like we were talking the other day about this, and I truly think like it's got the potential to span multiple seasons and multiple periods of time in the Empire. Like I know the initial seasons, a little over a year after Clone Wars. Yeah, basically the rise of the Empire, and so I think if you did it right, you could do fill in those, and which you already said this that it'll fill in the gaps between Maul and Clone Wars to Maul and Rebels, which I'm sure that's the idea of the show. But I hope they just don't do it in one season.
I don't think they'll do it in one season. If I were to put money on it, I would say this is going to go for 3 to 4 seasons.
I think because I mean we got Bad Batch. I'm not. I like the Bad Batch. I like it a lot. But I'm like, this is Maul. I think you could easily get three, like you said, 4 seasons because you don't want to go too far. If you do it too far, that's just too much. But
See,
you also don't
Clone
want
Wars,
to push in one
Clone Wars
season.
had enough to do to get 7 seasons, and I think it's perfectly worth it. Rebels at
Oh
four
yeah,
seasons was great. I know Resistance only had 1 season, but it is what it
there's so
is.
much to explore in the Clone Wars. So many different characters that you can go from any really. I mean, sure, the whole point plot of it is from Ahsoka and from Anakin and Obi Wan. But I mean, like really, if you just had a
You
show
covered
focused
nearly
on
everybody.
yeah, but you see, you got so many characters to play with there. That's why I think, like, I honestly, God, think that if we had a Dooku Qui Gon show, that would be something really nice as well. I would rather have that than what we kind of talked about the other day as well about a Obi Wan Anakin show between 1 and 2, which I'd like both, but like a Qui Gon Dooku show, I feel like would be good.
Honestly, I'll take a book.
Which
And
we have.
well, we have Dooku Jedi Lost, which doesn't really. I want something that's like solely focused on Qui Gon and Dooku, like a full fleshed out story. And when I say I'll take a book version of that, it's not to say that I don't want it in TV form or movie form or anything like that. I just want it in general.
Yeah,
So I will
I
take it
would.
in any form, but I would like that story.
I would too. I mean, I'd settle. But I'm like a golden retriever. Like if you just throw a good animated story show at me, like I'll take
I,
it.
I really think I really think that Star Wars would thrive off of stopping the live action shows here, because we're coming to the end of what was originally announced at the 2020 investors meeting. We've nearly covered all of the shows that were announced. We only lost a few along the
Crazy.
way. So I think we should now get to a point where we focus more on live action for movies, and then all of the TV shows be animated.
Yes and no. I think it depends on the show. Like the Kenobi show, I'd prefer that to be live
Oh,
action.
oh that's what I'm saying. Like if you're going to continue one of the live action shows, keep it live action. But if you're going to do something
Yeah.
brand new, just keep it animated.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
100%.
I think Star Wars animation thrives a lot more than the live action, because a lot of the live action, with the exceptions of some like Andor, get a lot of flack. And I'm not saying that it's terrible, because a
Mando.
lot of great things have come out of live action, like The Mandalorian. I'm personally a fan of The Acolyte. I thought that was fantastic, but really just keeping it to the animation styles and just improving on the animation, because
Oh,
you and I
dude,
you and I were talking yesterday. The animation has become so incredible, especially with the recent release of Tales of the Underworld. It just looks
yeah,
amazing.
they're really honing in on it, and there's a specific dude I think that I was reading that came aboard, and that's kind of where that started. I think he's still with them, but you can see the difference. And I'm going to have to look up his name because he deserves that credit. But like I mean, just look at this. I mean, like you said, Underworlds. Just look at that from Bad Batch finale to that. I mean, like it's a short span. Tales of the Jedi, like that. I mean, it looks good. I believe that it is enough. Can you see me still?
There you go. You froze there for a little bit. You're good now.
I believe it's enough, like you said, where majority of them should be. Because I mean, the cost. If you did like if you did the Clone Wars season 1 to 7 live action, that's crazy. That would bankrupt Disney probably if you did it right.
It'd be a
And
lot.
that's saying a lot. So you got a lot of money. But I think, and that's why I was like, animation. I mean, compared to live action, I think it's cheaper, and I think that's exclusive to Star Wars in a lot of senses. Because I mean, most of the time it's the other way around. But I think you do a bunch of shows like we were talking the other day. Like you could do a bounty hunter series, right? To where it could be Boba Fett and Jane.
You were really popular all of a sudden. See, the best part is I'm still recording, but your camera is just completely frozen. So, depending on how this goes, this potentially could be the end of the episode. I'm not entirely sure. But we'll give it a bit and see what happens. But it appears that even my camera quality is dropping, so it looks like I'm putting some strain on my PC. So we're going to call it there for this episode. It looks like Jordan's computer decided to die on him, so thank you all for watching. I think for right now we're going to go with Blaster Banter. We might change the name a little bit later. Who really knows at this point? But thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed this just random, this is just a conversation. This is what this is meant to be. It's just basic conversation between two friends and then just seeing where it leads. So hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more of this, please let us know down in the comments below. If there are any particular topics you'd like us to cover in the next episode, please let us know down in the comments and we will go crazy with it. Thank you so much. I am very tired. I'm going to go to bed now. We hope to see you again very soon.